Good evening, parents. Hope that you can hear me. If you can't hear me, you can raise your hand on Zoom, or you can simply unmute yourself. Okay, I presume that everyone can hear me. So welcome to Sanghui Commercial Society YMCA of Hong Kong Christian Schools admissions briefing. So this is our first briefing for this year, and we are going to the International School Fairs on Saturday. Hopefully, it'll be no typhoon, and then we can enjoy the day. If you would like to join us on that day, you're welcome to sign up on the SCMP. So here's the rundown. We are going to do the admission briefing for 30 minutes, and then we'll leave 15 minutes for Q&A. We also prepare a school tour video at the end of our presentation. So if parents have any questions, do type on the chat box, or you can leave it until Q&A session. So let's begin with our opening prayer. Dear God, thank you for having us today and gather everybody together to know more about S.YHKCS. May you guide us and give us strategies and also strength, power to guide us through this session and let parents know what they're going to choose the best for their children and also the best school that they can offer their kids for their education. Amen. So here are some reasons that you might want to choose us. We put on 3 reasons. First of all, we are a happy and meaningful learning environment. All our students really love coming to schools, even on holidays. Especially after holidays, they would say, oh, why do we have holidays? I really want to come back to school. So this is something that students really do enjoy learning. And we have professional and caring teaching team. So all of our teachers are qualified registered teacher in Hong Kong. Also EDB is qualified. Some of them have their teaching qualifications overseas, but then all of us actually got the registered status from our EDB Education Bureau. And we have a very unique curriculum, British-style education with solid maths and Chinese programs. So we have using the British national curriculum together with our Hong Kong maths and Chinese. Our teachers will also give you more details later. Some basic information that we would go through today. So here's the agenda. So some of you might wonder, why do we have a very long name, Sanghui Commercial Society YMCA of Hong Kong Christian School? Basically, S.YHKCS was established in 2013, so it's 12 years in our school. And then we shared a dream of Sanghui Commercial Society and also the YMCA of Hong Kong. It is actually a collaboration project that we work with Sanghui Commercial Society. And our YMCA is actually our operator. So in our school board, we have members from the SWCS and also from the YMCA of Hong Kong. Here's our vision. Our vision is to be a child-friendly and unique learning environment in Hong Kong, where young people are nurtured in Christian environment and equipped to contribute as responsible global citizens. In the YMCA schools, we all use the CARES principles. Maybe there's slight difference with the acronyms, of the meaning of the acronyms, but we follow through. This is basically our school rules. All of our students and also even staff, they know what CARES principles are, and then we also follow this direction when we teach, when we plan, and when we guide through our students if they really, touch wood, they misbehave. So Christian faith and caring, act with integrity, respect oneself and others, enjoy learning, and also serve with love. We have our school motto and the school scripture. So faith and strength. Also, I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. John 10:10. This is shared with our secondary school, YHKCC in Tongchong. So what makes us unique? We are a private school with no debenture or capital levy. Teacher-student ratio is 1:7. We use a school-based blended curricula, and then it's an international, professional, and caring teaching and support teams. So this is something that we offer to our students and also our CS community. Sorry, there are some people that I need to admit them in first. Okay.
Crystal, maybe I'll take over from here. Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Bonnie Ho, and I'm the Lower Key Stage Coordinator. So now let me talk to you about our outstanding.
Yeah.
So first, sorry, Miss Crystal. Oh, there we are. So let me introduce you to our school's leadership team. So we have our principal, Mrs. Kathy Chan. We have Miss Crystal Leung, who you just heard from, our head of administration. Then you have myself, Miss Bonnie Ho, who is the Lower Key Stage Coordinator. And we have Mr. Sheldon Lowe, who you'll be hearing from later on, who is the Upper Key Stage Coordinator. Next slide, please. Then in our school, we have homeroom teachers, specialist teachers, and one educational assistant per class. And we also have a team called the Strive team, which is made out of our SEND coordinator, support teachers, school social worker, and educational psychologist that comes once a month. And our team is also made out of administrative and supporting staff, a school librarian, school nurse, janitor, and security guard. Then within our school community, as Crystal said earlier, our teacher-student ratio is 1:7. Our class size is roughly around 20 to 28 students. A lot of our children come from different countries all over the world. We have children from over 25 countries. To name a few, we have children from the UK, from Canada, from Russia, from Germany, from India, Pakistan, many, many more. Next, I'm going to pass on to Mr. Lowe, who's going to talk to you about our blended curricula.
Thank you very much. Thanks everyone for joining us this evening. Thank you for giving up your time, your valuable time, so that we can chat to you. So our curricula is unique in the fact that we use the English national curriculum for our core subjects in class, but we use the local curriculum for our Chinese and for our mathematics. So that's the difference between us and a lot of other schools in Hong Kong. As you can see, our curricula offers many different subjects that are all based around the UK curriculum. We have theme-based topics throughout the year, and each theme-based topic will focus on different subjects, from geography to science to history to design and technology, art, computing, just to name a few. And within those topics, we focus on kind of things that are unique to both Hong Kong and the world internationally. And a lot of our subjects kind of cross over within each other. So if we are learning about World War II in year 6, we might do a writing piece in English that kind of relates to World War II. We might write a letter to somebody back home from the war as an example to you. Then we offer, like I said, mathematics and Chinese are done using the local curriculum. Mathematics is taught in English, so it is taught in English in each mathematics class. And then in Chinese, Putonghua is the medium of instruction, and there are 3 streams which the Chinese teachers will talk to you more about a little bit later, but they are native Chinese, near native Chinese, and alternative Chinese. Then in our curricula, we try to be very first world, very 21st century. We try to get the kids to learn lots of different collaborative skills. We get them to think critically about certain tasks. There's lots of citizenship, global citizenship, getting them to be global citizens, learning about different cultures, different nationalities. They work on their communication skills by doing lots of group work. We have loads of arts and design and technology where they are very creative. And we always try and instill a growth mindset within our students so that they keep learning, they keep growing, they see challenges not as obstacles, but rather as learning opportunities. Then I'll pass back over to Ms. Ho.
Hi, I'm back. So let me talk to you about the UK curriculum. So in our homeroom, as Mr. Lowe has mentioned earlier, we have our UK curriculum, which consists of literacy and topic and other things, which is a theme-based, activities-based learning. Throughout the year, we have 6 topics, which is broken up into half terms with a total of 3 terms. So let me talk to you about some of the activities that we do in year 1. So in year 1, because the children are new to our school, we want to introduce them to a lot of different genres to get them familiar with how to complete a lesson in literacy in primary school. So we do a lot of exploratory texts, we read a lot of stories, we encourage the children to discuss things within the stories, and that's what we do in literacy. Next, in topic, specifically for geography, here's a little fun fact about our school. About 90% of our students don't actually live in our local school area. So one of the topic is to take the children outside of the school and take a tour around our school block just to let them see what is in our school community. And often they will tell the teachers, "Oh, I see this on the school bus on the way to school. I didn't know there was a park here." So this is a fun field trip that we take the children on. In year 1, we also have something called design and technology projects, where sometimes we will help the children teach the children how to cook and prepare things. So they would have to work through a recipe. So it would use a lot of their skills in maths, in reading, and hands-on activity. They also build a lot of things using recyclable materials and just to get their hands working to build things, and this is something that they really love. And then next, we're going to talk about year 1 science. So since they are very, very new to the school, they like to use, they like to explore. So one of the things that we do is we take them outside of a classroom to try to get them to use all of their senses in our science lessons, and as well as teaching them the science method. This will lead in to the older keys year group, where in year 3 they will use these skills learned in year 1 and 2 and do more difficult experiments such as rock formation, what happens to fossils, and there's a lot of hands-on activities for the children to do. Now I'm going to pass back to Mr. Lowe, who's going to talk to us about what they do in upper key stage.
Thank you very much. So, as Ms. Ho was saying, there's a lot of hands-on learning, and in the upper key stage, we continue to try and blend the practical aspect of hands-on work, but then obviously there's a lot of theory involved too, where they're having to write things down, when they're having to figure things out for themselves. So we try our best to blend practical and theory in their learning. So in year 6, we're busy learning about World War II at the moment, and we start off learning some of the theory around World War II. We learn about the historical kind of significance of such a big event, what happened during the war. We're reading a book, Letters from the Lighthouse, which is a fictional story that is based on World War II. And then as we learn more about the practical side of World War II, we start to do some of these designs. So the students build a design, Anderson shelter. So they build a shelter that would have been used in World War II, a prototype, obviously. In art, we draw a picture of soldiers or significant figures that who would have been around in World War II. And they do this using pencils, and they have to use a grid to make sure that they are symmetrical. They use different tones and shades. So we kind of use our theme to really add a lot of enjoyment into the different subjects to make sure that the children are able to apply their knowledge to each subject and really enhance their learning that way. Then we have something called the Whole School Right, which each year group does 3 times a year, I think it is now. And with our whole school write, we'll have a topic throughout the school that the children will write on. And normally our topic will be relevant to Hong Kong at that particular time. Last year, we wrote about the use of palm oil and how it might be affecting nature. We looked in particular at monkeys or orangutans in the rainforest and how they are losing their habitat. And children wrote a story about a monkey who had lost his home. Each year group will write a different type of story. One year group might write a newspaper report. Another year group might write a letter. Another year group might write a fictional story. But the whole school writes are something the children really, really get involved in. They enjoy them. And if their work is chosen, it gets to go up outside Mrs. Chan's office for everybody to see. Then we also have Spanish as an additional language, which students learn from year 3, starting from year 3 all the way up to year 6. They learn all about Spanish language. Obviously, they start off quite basic in year 3 and they get more advanced as they go on up to year 6. They learn about the Spanish culture, and it culminates in something called the Spanish Speech and Culture Festival once a year, which all the children try to get involved in. There's normally a performance. They might be looking at some Spanish foods and some different Spanish cultural events. Then I'll pass over again to Miss Ho, I think it is. Miss Leung. There we go.
Thank you, Mr. Low. So I will talk about the Hong Kong Maths and Chinese curriculum. So as mentioned, it's very unique for our curriculum. So you can see that why we choose Hong Kong Maths and Chinese, because it's more advanced compared to other curricula. And also for YHKCC, our secondary school, they need students to follow the EDB guidelines to learn the local basic curriculum, and then when they move on, they will just split to have the IGCSE or the Hong Kong stream. So therefore, we have our Hong Kong Maths taught in English, and we follow the maths textbooks permitted by the EDB. We also use the online interactive maths learning platforms, both in Hong Kong and also in the UK. So there's something that good platforms from other countries we will also adopt to supplement with our curriculum. And then, move on to our Chinese curriculum. As Mr. mentioned, we have 3 streams. So first of all, we have NC, NNC, and also AC. So for NC and NNC, so you can see that students will all start with NC if they are native Chinese. So here we go. We have the curriculum for our year 1 to 6 students taught in Putonghua using the traditional characters with Hong Kong textbooks also permitted by the EDB. It's actually suitable for our local students. If you are looking for our YHKCC as secondary school, we highly advise parents to choose this stream when your children move to year 3, because when they're in year 3, they can actually choose to move to near-native Chinese, also taught in Mandarin with Chinese character, but then it is the adjusted curriculum that with a slower pace. So it's actually suitable for those who are planning to go overseas. So parents will need to think carefully about the stream for your children to study. And then for AC, For AC, basically, it's the IGCSE curriculum. So it's also school-based, but then with reference to the IGCSE level. It is actually for the non-local students. So some parents might wonder what kind of Chinese characters is in simplified Chinese characters. So it's different. So for the local NC and NC, traditional Chinese characters, but then for AC, simplified Chinese. It's more practical and also useful contents for their daily life. And then it's not just academic when your children study in our school, it's also about their whole person development. So here's something that we would like to achieve with your child when they choose to study with us. We provide different learning opportunities like outings, even during the year for the theme. Our teachers will also plan for different outings to let the students know, basically what I learn is linked to my daily life. It's not just separated. So something that we would like our students to be able to apply the skills in their daily life. And then when they see something, they know, oh, this is something that I learned in school. So we will take the students to the fire station because like our year one, they will learn something about the Great Fire of London. So even though we don't have, we can't go to London at our very small age, but then we still can go to the fire station and then the Hong Kong Park and also Science Museum to learn something about our curriculum. We also invite professional companies to join in. So like the Discovery Dome immersive learning environment. And also we have lip talks. Some of the topics we use the lip talks to join us so that they give more professional and also precise materials for our students. All are actually chosen by our teams. So we can ensure that it's actually linked to our curriculum. Other than that, we also focus on the ECA and ASA, so some activities for the students to develop in different skills. So we have school teams and interest classes for all levels. And then for Life While Learning camps, it's actually for our year 3 or above. So it's a progressive learning camp because for year 3, they will have their day camp. And then for year 4, they will have the day camp and also 2-day, 1-night residential camp. And then for year 5, they will have 3 days, 2-night residential camp. And then going to year 6, they will have 1 night staying in a tent and then another night in a dorm. So something that we would like to provide as students to learn progressively. And then for year 1 and 2, we invite parents to join the parent-child picnic to have fun, to enjoy the day with our students and also teachers. We also have some other special events planned during the year. There are also different performance opportunities like the class presentations, chapel, talent show, nativity play is our annual event for our year 1 and 2, Easter performance year 3 to 4, and then end of year performance is for year 6. So you might wonder where's year 5? So our year 5 will prepare for their YHKCC interview when they're in year 5 because they will have early application compared to other schools in Hong Kong. So some special events. So we have the Anti-Bullying Week, Charity Day, Kindness and Wellbeing Week. So some annual events or some special events depending what happened during the year. So we will also plan accordingly to meet the needs. Other than that, leadership skills is also very important. Don't think that they are too young, they can't do anything. It's whether we give them responsibility. So even for children in year 1, they can be a leader. So this is very true because Ms. Ho is our key stage coordinator and then she's now in year 1. If you give them a small task, they really remember and then they can also lead their team. So this is something very small task, but then build up their leadership skills. But then for upper key stage, we have prefects, student ambassadors, library prefects, green ambassadors, and also house captains. Here comes to our YMCA education. So in our YMCA Hong Kong, we have kindergarten. We also have the primary school and also secondary school. So you can see that for our kindergarten, we give priority to CIKG graduates. So when they're in K2, they can apply for our school. And then for YHKCC, they also give priority to our graduates. So when our students in year 5, they will apply for YHKCC. So usually in March, the principal and her team will come to our school to give a special admission talk for our parents. And then the students will go to YHKCC for interview. When they complete year 6, then they will get the offer going to YHKCC. And for our graduates, where are they going to move on to? 90% of our students will continue with YHKCC, and then 10% of them will go to other schools or even overseas. So here are some of the list, some of the schools that our students will go for DSS and also the international schools in Hong Kong. Other than that, our students also got scholarship in academic and also non-academic areas. Okay, let me pass the time to our principal, Mrs. Chen, to talk about admissions.
Thank you, Ms. Leung and Mr. Low and Ms. Ho for all the information. Parents, I know that it's a lot of information, but don't worry. I think if you're just thinking about, oh, what's the school about? Our students are really happy coming to school. I think that's a big plus. One of our new teachers commented how well behaved our students are compared to students in other schools and also overseas. They're very happy. They're very well behaved. They have lots of opportunities to learn, and our learning is really fun. Ms. Ho and Mr. Low were talking about how we connect all the subjects together, and that I think that's why they are really engaged in their learning, because it's not like learning. They are just like doing a big project all the time. So now let me give you some information. If you're interested in our school, we start our school starts from year 1 to year 6. We follow the UK curriculum. However, it's important to note that we start at age 6 instead of age 5. So students will need to complete K3 in Hong Kong to join our year 1. Overseas students will look at your age, and please refer to this chart for the date of birth. So admission criteria, do you make sure that you have the right to, your child has the right to study in Hong Kong, remain in Hong Kong. There are priorities for admissions, for example, students of staff of different YMCA schools, and also siblings and graduates of siblings of students who attend our school and YHKCC and CIKG. So our students from our kindergarten will have priority. Just as Ms. Leung said, they will apply in K2. We'll go and observe them instead of them coming to us for interview. For all the students who are not from our kindergartens, they will be invited to come for an interview when they are K3. So here's for your reference, our school fee projected for 2026-2027. This is subject to the approval of EDB. This is annual fee, and we take our school fees 10 months a year. So the annual fee divided by 10, that'll be 1 month's fee. We take 10 months school fee. Very important note is that we don't take any debenture or capital levy. So school fees is all we take for the tuition, no debenture, no big lump sum to pay at the very beginning. Of course, there are other fees that happens, for example, uniform, books, ECAs, trips, camps, and some other optional activities. For the school bus, as Ms. Ho mentioned, 90% of our students don't live around our school. A lot of them travel to our school. These are the bus lines that we offer right now. So you can have a look. If you have enough numbers of students from a particular area, we will also consider opening new lines. Right, so if you're interested in our school, you may want to note down these dates. The deadline for application will be on the 26th of September, and we'll invite students to come to our school for year 1. So K3 students who come for year 1 next year, their interview will be on the 15th of October. And there will be a second round in January. The reason is that actually students only have to come once. So if you can make the deadline this time, do come for interview in October. But sometimes we have students coming from overseas, or they apply late, or the first time they got sick, or they were upset and they cry, they didn't talk. We'll give them a second chance in the second phase interview. For year 2 and year 6 admissions, if you're not joining us in year 1, we will consider the applications throughout the year. So this is the code for making an application. If you go visit our website, you will also find the link to the online submission of our application. If your students study in CIKG, you have a separate form, so do wait for that. If you scan this code, you will find our school prospectus to see lots of pictures and information about our curriculum and activities. These are the ways to contact us. And of course, at the beginning of this briefing, we were watching a video that we put together to show you the school. But we would love to have you come to see for yourself how it feels to be in our school. Do register for our school tour. Usually it happens on a Tuesday morning or a Thursday afternoon. You can choose Tuesday or Thursday. Do come. It will take about 45 minutes. We give you a short briefing, and then we'll walk around the school with all the parents, and you can see for yourself, feel the atmosphere, look at the teachers. You can see the teachers, the educational assistants working together, the subject teachers and students having lots of activities and fun. So do come, sign up for a school tour to have a even closer look. But at the end of this briefing, we will show the video again for the school tour. So you can, if you can't come, you can watch the video. Okay, question and answer session. So parents, if you have questions, feel free to type in the chat box. We'll check the questions, and Ms. Leung, Ms. Ho, Mr. Low can help answer questions that's in your area. And parents who want to talk, you may also use the raise hand function. We will, you can also ask in the group. Okay, we have a question about intake. So we do have, we can open 3 classes of year 1, and usually the maximum number of class is 25. So 75 places. Normally, our kindergarten students may fill up a class or less than a class. So don't worry if you're applying from other schools. We will still have plenty of spaces for you. Okay, Annette, a teacher question. We are quite different from other schools in Hong Kong. We actually teach the UK curriculum. So all our teachers are either from English-speaking countries that use the UK curriculum, or they are trained to teach the UK curriculum. So all the teachers speak English except for the Spanish teacher and Chinese teacher. All subjects are in English. All homeroom teachers are either from overseas, or they are trained, or they overseas Chinese, and they are all trained to teach this curriculum. So we don't have nets because everyone speaks English and everyone's native speaker. We have a question about SCN.
Maybe I can answer this question, Ms. Chan.
Yeah, thank you.
So in our school, we have a STRIVE team, which is made of SENCO and some supportive teacher who is in school every single day. So to offer support for our SEN students, in each class, we have a class teacher and educational assistant that can cater to most of the student at any given time. However, for some specific learning needs, our SENCO will invite children out for separate small group learning time, or they will go into class for extra support. Or it is for the monthly basis support, it's only from our educational psychologists.
Thank you. We have questions about applications from overseas. Like we mentioned, it's a little complicated. For year 1, we have two times when we interview K3 students for year 1. So in October and in January. But if you are coming from overseas, you can't make our time, or you are applying for year 2 to year 6, you can apply anytime throughout the year. But if you're applying for year 1 and you can't make our interviews, we will try our best to arrange a time that's later on in the school year. that's not a problem, as long as we are not full. And also another question regarding the year one interview. What do we test the students in the interview? Basically, we just need our students to understand basic English, that they can follow instructions, because everything from day one, from the first lesson, the whole day, they will be speaking English. So we would like students who will be able to understand English, follow instructions. And we also will look at how they interact with each other. We have the class size, although some classes are about 20, only 20 in a class, some classes, the bigger ones, can go up to 25, 26 in the upper year group. So we do need students to be able to work with other people. So we will look at how their social skills, how they work as a team, and whether they can thrive in a large classroom such as ours. Having said that, I'm not sure if that was mentioned, that in every class there's a class teacher and an educational assistant. So we do have 2 adults most of the time in the homeroom for our students in a large classroom. There's a question regarding Chinese. I think that's something a little bit confusing for everyone. So maybe I can try to explain. So if you are Chinese, you listen to this. If you're non-Chinese, you listen to the next part, okay? If both parents are Chinese, and you have you're not born overseas, you were not educated overseas for a number of years, you can speak Chinese, your child will be considered ethnic Chinese. In our school, we would usually ask them to start with a native Chinese program, and then they can choose later on, so that let them start with something a little bit more advanced first, and then if they find it too difficult, they can make it easier later. But as a private school, we allow our students to choose the easier option, even if they're Chinese. The only thing you need to think about, if both parents are ethnic Chinese, is that if you want to go to our secondary school, YHKCC, they are government-funded school. So when they get there, they can't choose whichever Chinese streams. They have to study the regular Chinese. So in order for our students to get into YHKCC, if they're Chinese, they should do the native Chinese program. Otherwise, they probably won't be able to get into HKCC. But if you're thinking, oh, after a few years of primary education, we're going overseas or we're going into international schools, then you don't have to worry about that. So for non-Chinese students, for example, both parents are not Chinese, or you are mixed, one parent is Chinese, one parent is not Chinese, you can choose any of our streams for your child. When they go to YHKCC, they will be able to choose the easier Chinese. I hope I've answered this question. It's something that, if both parents are Chinese, that's something you need to consider. If you want to go to YHKCC for secondary education, they will not let you choose the Chinese program. That's the issue. But for entry, if our students don't take native Chinese, they probably won't get up to that standard to pass the test when they're in year 5. As for availability for year 4, maybe contact our admissions staff, email us, and then we will get back to you about availability right now in year 4. Can Mr. Low or Ms. Ho answer a question about the volume of homework and test in school?
Yes, no problem. I'm replying to these. I'm not sure if I'm only sending them to the... Can you see my comments or not?
Yes, we can. So maybe we can also verbally answer. Maybe can you take the assessment and I'll take the homework, Mr. Low?
Sure.
I'll go first. So as for
Go ahead.
homework,
Sorry, I'm just trying to find the...
okay. So for homework, normally in the homeroom, under the UK curriculum, we send homework once a week. So it's usually sent on a Friday, and children are expected to bring their homework back on the following Tuesday. But however, if your child does enroll in the NC or the NNC Chinese stream, they may have daily homework, as that is considered the local curriculum. So depending on which Chinese stream your child enrolls in, the homework may vary. But however, on the homeroom side, the UK curriculum side, we only send home homework once a week on a Friday, and it comes back on a Tuesday. Mr. Low, I'll pass on to you about assessment.
Thank you. Then we have two topics per term, so one topic per half term. And then in maths and science, we have one test per half term on average. So in maths, they follow certain units, and after each unit is completed, there's a unit test. And then in science, there'll be the same thing. After each topic is completed, there'll be a topic science test. Then we also have PIRA and GAPS, which are British curriculum English tests. One of them tests spelling and comprehension skills, and the other one tests grammar, punctuation, the one tests grammar, punctuation, and spelling, and the other one tests comprehension and reading ability. And we have those tests 3 times a year, and we use those to gauge where we feel children need help, where they might need assistance in literacy in English. Then we also have spelling tests in most of the year groups. We have spelling tests once a week, which we normally do on a Friday. Might vary from year group to year group. And then obviously in Chinese and in Spanish, they might have tests at certain times of the year. But basing it on other schools I've been a part of and other schools I know of, I think our assessment load is relatively low. I don't think we assess a huge amount. So the kids can generally manage quite well.
Yeah, maybe give the parents an idea of, hearing from the other students who came from other schools, this is paradise. Okay, so homework is meaningful and is only given once a week at the end of the week. Reading, spelling, maybe writing some sentences, math, a few pages, Chinese, you do have to do it every day because it is a hard language. So workload is really, really light compared to other schools. Tests is only once a week. Spelling test is only 10 words, and then the termly grammar and comprehension test that doesn't need studying for. But math and Chinese, they do have unit tests because we do follow the local curriculum. So it's and our students also comment that they have, after coming to our school, they have a lot more time to do other things, not just only studying and doing homework, and they are able to sleep a bit earlier than when they were in other schools. There's a question about K2 joining us in year 1. So our we give priority for admission only to our kindergarten. We go and observe them when they're K2, but they still need to complete K3 in order to come to year 1. So it's the same as other students in Hong Kong, whether they study in international kindergartens or local kindergartens, they still need to finish K3 and then they join us when they're age 6. So if you're not sure about your child when they should apply, look at the chart where there's the date of birth, like follow the year, then you will be fine. If you're not sure, just email our admissions officer for more details. There's a question about simplified Chinese and traditional Chinese characters. So I'm not sure whether the situation of that particular child, but let me try to explain. In our NC and NNC program, we use traditional Chinese characters. Our AC program, the foreign Chinese program, is simplified Chinese. Usually children are very adaptive. They will be able to switch, learn quite quickly. Give them some time, they will be able to recognize either simplify or traditional and vice versa. So if your child's joining in lower year group, the chances for them to catch up will be much easier. So it's something also, if you are thinking when to join our school, I would say earlier the better, because from experience, a lot of local students, when they join us late, they will struggle with English, but our international students coming in late, they will struggle with Chinese and math. So join us earlier so we can make sure that their level of English and math and Chinese are all up to standard to join our YHKCC. Or if they go overseas, they will be really good at their Chinese and very, very good at the math and equally good in the English. A parent wants to confirm that if parents are non-Chinese, if they go to YMCA secondary school, they can select alternative Chinese. I believe that's the question. So if you're non-Chinese, if either parent's not Chinese, your child will be able to go to the alternative Chinese in YJCC, which is the easier Chinese for foreign language students. So they will learn Chinese as a foreign language. So the difficulty only applied to Chinese ethnic Chinese students where both parents are Chinese and they speak Chinese. When they get to YJCC or when they apply for YJCC, they will be tested on the regular Chinese standard. So that's the challenge that we have right now. So if you're non-Chinese, if your child is really, really good at Chinese and you want them to study regular Chinese, no problem. But they can also choose the easier Chinese, and they will be tested on that level as well. There's a question about timing of school for K1 students. I think, does it mean year 1 students? I think maybe. Ms. Ho, can you answer the question about school time?
For the upcoming academic year, the 2026-2027 academic year, we are inviting children born in the year 2020 to join us. So I believe those would be the children in K3 right now. So the children in K2 would be born in 2021. So for children born in K1, it might be 2022. So I think it will be 2 school years from now where the K1 children will be invited to enroll for the normal route. But if you are a CIKG student, you will be invited to enroll with the priority enrollment in next year.
Okay, Ms. Leung, can you answer questions about school bus that we don't have currently? We don't have bus going to Lam Tin and Hong Kong Island.
Well, for other locations that we're not listing there, it depends on the needs. So every year, the bus company will look at the location and they will discuss with the parents. So it could be we could offer the pickup point in Lam Tin, but then it really depends on the route. Because in the past, we did have school bus going to Kwun Tong, Lam Tin, these kind of areas. Yeah.
It depends on the enrollment of that year. So if we have enough students, the school bus may open or extend a line. Hong Kong Island at the moment, no, I don't think we have Hong Kong Island line. So for the school bus fee.
School bus fee depending on the area. So yeah, depending on the area, like in Yuen Long, around 3,800 per month, 10 months, 10 installments. So depending on the area, well, you can give us a call and then we can give you a reference of how much the routes is actually paying. Yeah.
And what time does the bus leave from Tung Chung in the morning? And what time does it return?
I also answered
already. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Written assessment for interview for year 1, no. After year 1, yes. From year 2 to year 6, if they join us, there will be written assessments on English, math, and Chinese if you are doing native Chinese. School timing of students of P1. I think the question is what time do we start and what time do we finish in a day? So the whole school, we start at 8, the lessons start at 8:25. Students can come in starting at 8 o'clock. 8:25 start, we finish at 3:20. But after school, if they join after school activities, they can finish at 5 or 5:30. For Chinese program, we use Putonghua to teach all the streams. We don't use Cantonese. We use Putonghua, and also in YJCC they will do the same. There is a question about curriculum of YJCC. The best thing is, of course, for you to go and visit YJCC and listen to Ms. Low explaining. But just a simple answer from us is that when they join YJCC in Form 1, 2, and 3, they will do an integrated program where they will be equipped to do both, either DSE or GCE. When they are in Form 2 and Form 3, the teachers will start talking to the students and parents to talk about which stream suits their students the best. So they will talk to them, give them a lot of information, think about which stream, what they want to do later on in life, and then they will choose which stream will fit them best. And for DSE, for YGCC, because it's a government-funded school, 51% of the students will have to do DSE, and less than 50% can do GCE. There, at the moment, the demand seems to be more on GCE. So there are more students choosing the IGCSE program. So the students scoring the best scores and showing the best effort will get to choose first. So yeah, so they have both DSE and GCE, and the percentage is 51% and 49%. Ms. Leung, can you answer a question about ECA and school team?
So for ECA, it's actually within our school timetable. So it means that it's before 3:20, so 2:30 to 3:20. But then for our school teams, they're selected by our professional coaches or PE teachers. It will be after school. So after 3:20, it could be in school or in the other areas like the outside playground, sports ground, or in the fencing venue. So depending on what kind of ECA or ASA your children join. And also for swimming, we will go to St. Margaret's Co-Educational Secondary and Primary School. It's run by our Wing Tin swimming company.
I think maybe the question is about the type of ECA and school teams as well.
I have replied in the chat box
Okay.
with some examples.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Ho. That's a question about extension service. We usually we don't have this kind of program. Yes, the students will, if they join, normally they finish at 3:20 and then they go home, or if they have after school activities, they may stay until 5 or 5:30. And the older students, year 5 and 6, they can apply to go home by themselves with parents' permission and with the teacher's approval. So they can go home by themselves after school, or they can go after the activities. I think it's getting a bit late. I think most of parents have finished asking questions. So if parents